Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon all of you, my dear brothers and sisters and children. I begin in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Today's subject is on eating, the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These are ways he have taught. Sunnah is his way of life, his teachings of how he did many different things. And this is our education series for children and for new Muslims, and for regular Muslims that may not know some of the procedures that the Prophet ﷺ did. We're going to go through some of them, and we're going to start off with the first thing the Prophet did was he never criticized the food. If he get some food, if he liked the food, he ate the food, and whatever he didn't like, he just left it. So this was in Bukhari's hadith by Imam Dr, Sayyid Bukhari. So never criticize the food. Now, there's two du'as that the Prophet read before he ate. The du'a before he ate, he said, "Oh Allah, bless the food you have bestowed upon us, and protect us from the torment of the hellfire. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful." Or in short, you can say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. This is from An-Nasa. After the meal, we say, all praise are due to Allah, who gave us food and drink and made us Muslim. Or for short, we can say Alhamdulillah. This is reported in Talmizi and Dawood Hadith. So those are the two dua. He says, eat less. We're talking about eating now, some of the ways of eating. Eat less food. If you overeat, you increase sicknesses and diseases. So overeating is not good. So eat in moderation. So these are things to know about. Now we had some rules of, he says, we eat 1/3 food, 1/3 liquid, that's water or the juices, and 1/3 air, this is breath, which is air. So you have a balance of 3/3, which is 1/3 food, 1/3 liquid, and 1/3 air. This is reported in Talmuzi. Eat slowly. Why eat slowly? I was talking to a friend in Montreal this morning. We were talking about eating, and he said, eat slowly. And I said, well, he said, you're correct. I told him he's correct. He's reading the Old Testament, so eat slowly. And that's correct, though, because now, what is the benefit? By eating slowly, your body is able to absorb the nutrients from the food. By eating slowly, you're chewing the food into small bits, which helps many different things. First, it helps exercises. The more you chew, that means you're eating slowly, helps to strengthen the jaw muscles, and helps to mix the saliva with your food for the digestion process or breaking down the food. It's people that eat faster, the food is usually in more chunks. It's chunkier, it's harder in the stomach. It causes heartburns and stomach digestion problems. So these are things to look at. Now, the thing is, by eating and slowly, you're breaking down the food. It helps the food to digest faster, as we're saying. Another thing with eating slowly, which is kind of interesting, is that I was explaining to him that by eating fast, you're actually eating more food than if you eat slowly. There is a clock in your system that controls your level of food to the stomach. And by eating slowly, you actually end up filling your stomach at a fast rate, because it's mixing saliva, it's mixing everything more into the food, and because now your stomach has been working and say, hey guys, I'm full. Eating fast, you actually break that thermos, or break that clock in your system. You actually go beyond its limit. So then when you're eating faster and faster, you end up eating more food, so you're going to gain more weight by eating more food. So eating slowly, following the sunnah of the Prophet, actually helps you in your eating process. So this is eating slowly, and in other words, it's also called eating in moderation. Well, eat in moderation with eating. Do not go to the extreme of anything. Do not eat 24 hours a day. You know, we have set times to eat morning, the lunch, and dinner, which is good. And remember, the first meal of the day is the most important meal to get all the nutrients inside. And the last meal, many people sometimes skip the last meal. There is teachings that state, when you research, is that by missing your dinner ages you. So you want to get an old man, go ahead. Or an old lady, go ahead and miss that dinner. If you eat it, it helps you. So it's actually good. And do not eat, do not go to sleep right exactly after you finish eating. Let the food digest. Some people that eat and then sleep get weird nightmares or dreams. You can look at my subject on dreams to prevent that. But yeah, it's better to take a little rest, not rest, but relax on things before you sleep. Okay, that's moderation. It says, "O children of Adam, wear beautiful clothes at every time and the time for prayers, and eat and drink, but waste not by excess. For Allah does not like the wasterer." Al-Quran, chapter 7:31. So Allah does not like the people who waste. So do not take like 5 plates of food when you can use 1 plate of food. And if you're using 1 plate of food, eat a little bit, and then if you're hungry more, then you can take some more. But it's better to take less than to fill it up, and then you end up throwing the food away. That becomes haram, unlawful, to waste. Allah doesn't like the waster, and the Prophet preached on that. So eat in moderation. So these are something that's very good for you to know. Now we're looking at, next one is sharing. Allah said, He is not a believer. This is the Prophet said in the Hadith Bukhari, He is not a believer who eats to fill his belly while his neighbors go hungry, or his neighbor goes unfull. What does that really mean? You know, people are thinking, well, your neighbor next to you, your neighbor the other one. Yes, if you pick on your block, and some people say your neighbor stretches from 40 houses in both directions, and all directions is your neighbors. So if your neighbors and they need food, then share your food with them. Is the sunnah to the Prophet. If the poor is around, share with them. But he's also talking about neighboring could be people in other countries. It's good, alhamdulillah, that Allah provided us with food. But the thing is, we have to remember that not to waste. The people in Africa, in India, in China, South America, all the many countries of the world that are starving, people on the streets, don't get food like what you get. So we always say, alhamdulillah, for what Allah provided for us. But if we had extra, instead of waste it, you can spend some of that in zakat and charity and helping people in other countries. Those are also your neighbors. All your brothers and sisters in many countries need those food. So that's on the sharing of food. Now, eating together is also another sunnah of the Prophet. It's great blessings to eat together. It's harmony. You have a good understanding of each other. People today, when they eat together, are more relaxed. And what's interesting is when you're eating together, your mind is less absorbed in the daily activities. Because you don't have to, when you're eating by yourself and you're alone and you're thinking, oh, I got this headache, I got that problem, you got this thing, you got that thing. Eating together, you don't even remember all that. Everybody's there eating their food, you feel good. They all give off good positive energy. You have delicious food, and everybody's there. And it's a blessings. The sunnah of the Prophet was always to eat. So not everybody jumps in one corner of the house and go eat. Like some people at houses, you want to eat together, which would derive great blessings in that. So those are some little things on that. Now, I'm going to go through the procedures of, okay, hang on a second.